Get ready.
Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross. It's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday! Be there!
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Fishy Hour. Let's get Brian in here. Brian, how you doing today? He's muted, or I don't have the volume up. There you go. Can you hear me now? I hear you now. What's up?
Yo, Jinx. Man, I am super excited about today's show. I've been waiting to do this show for weeks and weeks and weeks. We're going to talk about Mission Bay, fellas. We're gonna discuss this like but most of the majority of the show is gonna be talking about Mission Bay, because Mission Bay in the winter can be pretty rough. And you know what, guys, we're gonna show maps, we're gonna show the whole ordeal. So get ready, buckle up.
Secrets revealed.
That's right.
Cops called. All that.
Yeah, it's everything. We're talking about.
Let's get the show started the right way, guys. Yeah. Shout out to the first person in here, the first like of the evening, Mr. Leonard. What up, Leonard? Round of applause from the live studio audience. Woo! Thanks, Leonard. And we'll give the first comment of the day to Mr. Steven. Oh, what's up, Steven? Steven Gates. What's up, Steven? School. Also, big shout out to Mr. Michael Tran. Roy down in SD. What's up, Roy?
Hey,
Roy, look at my knuckle. Look at that.
Wow.
It's fat. This is how it normally looks like. This is what. So it's a little bit not as bad as it was when it first got messed up, but I'm still going at it.
I got fingers that won't even go straight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian Likes to Fish. What up, Brian?
Yo.
Carl Black. What's up, Carl? Sir Dave Dalton. What's up? Welcome back to the stream. I'm glad you're here. Biker Board. Welcome back. Yeah, Benji. What up, Benji? What's up? Welcome back. Dario in the house. Dario, let's go. The cute one of the new Max on the block.
Salty, the mysterious one.
Mysterious one, Salty.
Blow up all the spots.
Doug Rubin in the house. What up, Doug? We're about to blow up the spots.
Big spot, Salty.
Todd needs to change his name. TB Metal Art from this day forth shall be known as Todd Burton Art. Woo! Woo! Todd Burton Art in the house. So, Todd, you probably have to change that name. I can't change that name for you. But in everything else that you guys see on our Discord and every reference we have to TB Metal Art, it's now Todd Burton Art. So in the chat, if you want to type in !TB Art or Todd Burton Art, I think it'll give you, even TB Metal Art will give you Todd's new thing. Let me see.
Look what the judge just said. 6 more subscribers to 600. Let's go.
Oh, very cool. That'd be nice. Ready to
break the 600 ceilings? Gosh.
So shout out to Carl. Shout out to Todd, Benji, Doug Dude Drone. What up, dude? It's been a while. Welcome back.
Hey,
you're here for a good one. Money
D. Good
enough for the time out of your life? Nope. I commuted 2.5 hours a day for a year and said no thanks, even though it was decent. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah. Probably. As far as like YouTube money goes, nope. Not worth it. But still fun. D Gomez says, no love for me, Mission Bay today. Oh, super clear and low tide. Well, today, Mr. D, you're in for a treat. Okay, I'm not sure how much experience you have fishing Mission Bay, but today you're going to get a lot of usable information. I'm 19 minutes from the bay. Oh, nice, Carl. Dave Dalton says. Okay, very cool. Oh, what's up, Captain Dan? Welcome back. Houston Supercross greetings. Nice. Oh, man, that's living the life.
I love watching Supercross, Dan. I watch it every Saturday.
The mysterious one from New Max on the block, Mr. Salty Dangler in the house. What up, Salty? What up, Judge? Peter86 in the house. What up, Peter? If you want to drop by, I'll watch the replay. Peter, any news? Let us know. We have Dr. Drone. Yep. We have Steven. We're decided Steven. Okay. Aaron, what's up? Aaron Kruger in the house. What up? And finally, HTX Polestar MMSC Texas chapter.
Oh.
What up, Oscar?
Hey, Oscar.
Submission, Mr. Submission Fishing Co. himself, Mr. Mike Muto in the house. What up? Shout
Part
out.
of the new Max on the block too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Who's he?
Tough guy.
He's a tough one. That's right. we got the full new Max on the block in the house, guys. Woo! Round of applause for ourselves. And Jared, what's up, Jared? Welcome to the show. 45 minutes with no traffic to the Bay. Let's go. All right, here we go, boys. Let's get to these announcements. And first, let's do Pop Top. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best Pop Top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst. Rate this Pop Top. Did you forget to boost up your mic?
Yeah, I didn't do the mega mic.
Ah, come on.
Sorry.
Nice.
First off,
7, a 10. Okay. There's discrepancies in the scores. Okay. My name is Jeff. What up, Jeff? Welcome.
7, 10. Thank you. Salty 6. My own partner.
Judge. Oh my gosh. Judge didn't even give you a number. He just said a week. Oh my gosh.
I need this mega mic.
Oh, because of the cup, you got a 2. What's up, Dave? Nice. All right. Let us know what you're drinking tonight. Put it in the chat. It could be a soft drink. It could be a hard drink. Whatever you're into. Okay. Whatever gets you in the fishy mood.
LaCroix.
Here we go.
Thank you, Sunday.
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best Pop Top you ever heard in your life. 1 being the worst. Rate this Pop Top.
Oh yeah, your rip was way better.
Ripped. Dang. Cheers, everybody.
Mega mic. Cheers, Roman. Cheers, everybody.
Happy February.
That's right, February 1st. Huh?
Happy February. Well, Chicken Lips in the house. What up?
Drinking water. Everybody's drinking water.
Drinking water. Staying healthy. Good. Keep it sticking to those New Year's resolutions. Nice.
10, and you
Beef
smoke.
called the water. Ooh, that sounds good.
My name is Jeff Crisp. What's up, Jeff? All right, so let's start out these announcements. First announcement we got coming up in, what is this, 2 weeks? 3 weeks. No, 2, I guess a little over 2 weeks. We got the Bart Hall Fishing Show at the Del Mar Fairgrounds coming up
So
in February
confusing.
16th through 19th. We're going to go ahead and make this a club outing. So you want to go about that club outing we're going to be having? At the,
Yes.
sorry, not.
Even
did I say
Oscar in Texas is drinking weenie water. Is that like the water that comes in those Vienna sausage things?
Ugh.
That's so disgusting. Like tuna juice. Like canned tuna juice.
I think he's referring to my LaCroix.
Oh.
Like I'm a weenie because I'm drinking weenie water.
Oh my gosh. What up, John? Welcome. Okay. So Bart Hall.
Bart Hall, yes.
The first the next one is in a couple weeks, right?
It's on February 16th through 19th.
16th to 19th, and we're gonna go as a group if you want to on the 18th, which is Saturday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have a thread within the MMSC events section of our Discord server under club outings. I pinned a comment, and the comment says, let's see. Well, where's it? Interesting. Pinned a message. There it is. That's a Dave actually suggested this last week during the show. He said, I said, hey, Dave, I saw your comment last night about mobbing it to the Bart Hall. It would be cool to go as a group. It's the 16th to the 19th, so we're going the 18th, right? React with a bit sign if you guys are interested in going as a group. And I have about 4 people that are interested so far. Cool. So we're going to probably meet at a park and share location and carpool over there so we can kind of save on the price of parking and go have a blast and maybe wear MMFC clothing. Maybe not wear clothing, whatever. It's up to you. You don't have to wear clothing. You can go shirtless.
He's right. 18th is SPS. Saltwater Bass Series. So me and him won't be there on that day, unfortunately. But hey, I'll be working there at the Cool Baits booth on the 16th, 17th, and 19th. So if anybody stops by, stop on by, say hi.
Yeah, doing any other. Yep. But if you guys are interested and want to go with us as a group, go to the club outings section under the MMFC events in our Discord server.
That sounds
for
good.
Details.
Show up with your MMFC shirts on. Let's take that place over, right?
You guys selling shirts? Yes, sir. We're always selling shirts. We can go to, actually, speaking of shirts.
Yeah, let's go right
Man,
to that.
look at my name is Jeff. It has a perfect segue. So speaking of shirts, we have released the Kraken. We've released the new Spotty Bowl shirts. So Spotty Bowl 2023 shirts are set. You can get that and any of the Mad Max Fishing Club gear at shop.romancastro.com, or you can type in !shop into the chat, and that'll give you a link to the page. In there, you'll have access to the MFC gear, the Grumpy Spotty stuff, the Angry Butt, apparel, the Spotty Bowl, the Spotty Republic flag back here, all kinds of other stuff. And we do have a boxy fit. So I made 2 fits for the Spotty Bowl shirt. I like the tapered style because they make me look buff.
You got the boxy,
and they make my belly stick out more.
Guys.
Right?
The actual buff guys need the boxy.
And then they also have the boxy one where it's just like straight cut, like a Gildan shirt where it's like doesn't matter. It's just like a it'll take any shape it needs to.
You're so politically correct.
Yeah, boxy. That's the boxy style.
Dude.
Boxy for the nice. What up, Oliver? Welcome.
Zach Riggs is in here too.
Zach in the house.
All right, so those t-shirts are released right now as we speak.
Yes, you can go to shop.romancastro.com or type in !SB shirt, Spotty Bowl shirt, SB shirt in the chat, and they'll give you the link for it. Okay.
Cool. Next announcement: Spotty Bowl this weekend, guys.
Dun,
Mission
dun, dun.
Day. So you guys that have been pre-fishing, including me, it's been a rough go, eh? So February 3rd through 5th, don't forget to tell the judge what day you're going to fish, because if you want your fishing to count, you got to declare your day, and if you're doing AM or PM. This is like, week 2, so you guys are starting to get in the groove. Don't need to go over a lot of the rules. One rule I'm going to tell you, though, remember, lip on lip, lip on lip. The judge gave you guys warnings last time, so if he gave you a warning, check your warnings and make sure you follow that rule, but I think the number one thing was open mouth on those fish. Make sure it's lip on lip. Then right after that, the following weekend, February 10th through 12th, Spotty Bowl again in Newport.
Cool. Before we talk about the Newport Spotty Bowl, let's talk a little bit more about this Mission Bay Spotty Bowl session, which is round 2 of the Spotty Bowl division in San Diego. We picked up a sponsor, and we talked about it last week. We picked up Fastlane. And they, the way we set up the structure with them, is that I wanted the prizes to get progressively better. They said, hey, do you want to do a flat same thing every week, or can we make it better each week? I was like, well, if you make it better each week, does that mean that the first one's gonna suck? He said, no, we're gonna make them all good, but it'll just keep getting better. So I was like, all right, make them get better. So we have the first package is going to be valued about $255. That'll be for this weekend only. The winner will get a Yak Attack Pro Pack. So you get to choose between the black one or the green one. It's off green. I forget what color it is, but it's a black or the green. There are 2 colors. You get to pick whatever color you want. You'll get the bungee separators that go in that. And you'll get an Omega rod holder, which works, I think, with the
locking print system.
Yeah, and then you'll also get a Fastlane T-shirt. Yeah. So all that stuff is all good stuff for all of you kayak anglers. There you go. Boom. Yeah, you get that shirt actually. The Salty Crew Spotty shirt.
I got 3 of them.
So that is their first prize package of the Spotty Bowl season. They said they would be participating in all of them going forward. The way it works for you guys, though, and we'll cover this a little bit more when we're doing an actual Spotty Bowl episode. I just wanted to get you guys hyped about it and know that these prizes are going out every week. So if you win
every session,
if you win that session, you get to go on Thursday to Fastlane and pick up your prizes. So like, you don't have to wait for the whole rest of the season. And guys, you're paying like at most $100 to participate, and you could just win this on your $250, and you already paid for your entry. You know, it's like the value that you're getting at this point is like well over what you're paying to participate. So it's very cool. If your friends are into it, even if your friends are not big time tournament fishermen, they should participate anyway, because it's worth the shot to get a couple of extra items. You know, it's like I think we've sweetened the pot so much at this point that it's worth just being in it to get some of the side pots or some of the bounties. You know,
and to win that is longest spotty of the weekend.
that's right. The longest spotty of the weekend wins that
In
one.
length, yeah.
Yeah, across all divisions.
Salty says, except for the first session. Yeah, that's a bummer. You pulled in that 18-incher at the wrong session, eh, man?
Yeah, I know. And then one more thing also is once you win one of the Fastlane side pots or the Fastlane bounties, you can't win the Fastlane bounty. So that's the only thing that sucks about it.
One per person. Let's not get greedy.
It's one per person because these prizes are awesome. I mean, they already gave me the details on the next prizes, what they're gonna be, and it's amazing. Like the next, I'll tell you the value of the next one for the 3-3 to 305 weekend back in San Diego. That's gonna be $295 value. The one after that's about $320 value. It's just amazing. So, anyway, cool.
You Fastlane, that's awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's SD only, Michael, because Fastlane doesn't do business outside of San Diego, so that's why it's only in San Diego. But like it's worth it. It's worth it to sign up and just fish. Dude. I think we haven't had any success with any of the what's it called kayak shops in San Diego in LAOC that we've reached out to. If you guys know any that we should reach out to or have the in, let us know. We'd love to work with them and do something similar with them for the LA guys. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and Spotty Bolt's we're only in year 3 here. Let's see where this thing goes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's huge. Okay, yeah. So Newport coming up, guys. So you guys that are up in LA, your event is February 10th through 12th. We'll go over that next week next week's gonna be a results show, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Next announcement: the Pacific Coast Sports Fishing Show, March 2nd through 5th, is up at the OC Fairgrounds. Go up there, check out all of our sponsors that are sponsoring the show. Tell them that Roman and Brian sent you, or that just go up there and support our sponsors for Spotty Bowl. Check them out. Kevin's gonna be up there. I think Chad's gonna be up there. They have a lot of our sponsors up there. Okay, big announcement here. Huge announcement. Well, let me grab something.
Oh. That's right.
This is fresh off the book or fresh off the press, right? This is brand new news.
Fresh off the text, yeah.
Fresh off the text. Guess what, guys? Todd is going to make some of these for every single division this year again. So,
again, let's go.
He's the guy who made all that art in the background you see back there. And he made that trophy one year, and he made this trophy. So take a gander at this, guys. There's only one way to earn one of these and one way to win one. And that's in Spotty Bowl. So this is a prize again. So we weren't sure quite if Todd was going to do this again, but Todd has gone ahead and volunteered his awesome time. And he's making these, and there's going to be 7 of them? Then?
Yeah, he's doing one for each division in San Diego and in LA. So
and they're beautiful. I think there's going to be a little different design than this one. I saw if you guys go on Discord, you can kind of see a sketch of what they're going to look like. But dude, they are nice.
Yeah, super awesome.
So thank you, Todd. Can't believe it.
It's just it's a lot of belts, Todd. It's like I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of belts.
We know what
awesome.
Todd's gonna be doing for the next couple months.
So awesome. Yeah, I know.
I really appreciate you with those belts. Those belts are awesome, guys. I hope that everybody owns one. Mine can sit up above my TV most of the time. So okay, next announcement. Thank you, Todd, for that. Side pots. We've already talked about the side pots a little bit, but guys, when you go out there, make sure when you go, you bring one of these scales with you this time. A lot of the heaviest categories, I see people catching big fish.
Yeah.
But they're not putting them in the side pot.
Yeah,
you can only win the side pot is if you put it into the side pot. So, carry around a scale and weigh your fish and enter these side pots. You never know. You never know if that halibut that you caught was 4 pounds might be the biggest other. You know what I mean? So heaviest other. So carry that. Yeah, it's a lot of work, Todd says. Okay, last announcement. So I've been kind of thinking about show ideas. And I made kind of a little. I put in the Fishy Hour Discord questions, and I bought some stuff at Petco the other day, Roman.
Oh, nice.
Bought me a whole goodie bag here, and not next week is a results show, but the next show we get that's not a results show, we're going to be testing lures underwater. We're going
Oh,
to
very
see how
cool.
they sink. We're going to see sink rates. We're going to be seeing what floats. We're going to do all kinds of crazy little tests on this. I'm even going
That's
to
cool.
grab 5 gallons of water out of Mission Bay just so I can dump it in here. So it's
Salt
like
water? Yeah,
legitimate
yeah.
salt water.
Yeah, legit salt. That's funny.
So, got some goodies here. We got some fun plans coming up on future shows. And go into the Discord and Fishy Hour and let me know what you guys would like to see tested in these tanks right here.
I think it's on the Fish Hour questions.
You got it. Fishy Hour questions. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll prepare it. You know, whatever I got. I got a whole tackle box and stuff here, so we can try all kinds of weird stuff.
And real quick, guys, we're gonna get to the rest of the show and actually go into Mission Bay fishing in a second. But if you're watching and don't know what we're talking about, and we're talking about Discord, it's a social media platform that we use to continue the conversation that we're having in chat here, and also we have a bunch of subdivided groups within that to cover different topics that we're doing as a group, outings. Sharing books, like library sharing books, all kinds of stuff. If you're interested in checking that out, type in !Discord into the chat, and you'll get a link from the Nightbot that tells you how to sign in. And it's basically it's a free club. Nobody's in charge of anything to be in there. All that I ask is that you treat each other with respect. If you see a question you can answer in an honest, helpful way, do so. If not, don't put anything negative in there, right? If you have any question you need to ask, go ahead and ask it within a general thread, and somebody will jump in there and help you. I'll jump in there and help you, or might even take it as a next topic for one of the shows that we're doing. Okay, so that's the Discord that we're referring to. Go ahead.
Dr. Jones says you got to show the Z-Man swim baits and show how they stand up on the bomb. Yeah, definitely. DDD. I'm gonna definitely try to test a Ned rig. What's a Ned rig again? Oh yeah, I'll try that too.
What's up, Michael?
Yeah.
Welcome. Cool.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our main segment here. Unless you have any other announcements, Roman?
Yes. After this after this Mission Bay, how to fish Mission Bay or Mission Bay explained section, we're doing the normal Wednesday thing, which is PB shoutouts. Okay, so stick around for PB shoutouts. Yeah.
It's a huge PB shout out.
It's a good PB shout outs.
Let me just put it this way. The guys up in LA are really participating.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got some good PB shout outs coming up. So Roman, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my screen share here.
Real quick. I guess I should have done that in a commercial like this. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We're so close to 600 subscribers. This year would be awesome if we could get to 1,000. We do this show every week, and we never ask people to subscribe. Well, we do, but not as much as we should probably. So if you're here for the first time, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. After you hit subscribe, type in the chat, just subbed. And maybe an alert will pop up here. I don't even know if the alerts still work. But anyway, subscribe, and yeah, let's keep it going. Let's get to 600 and then get to 1,000. 1,000.
You just subscribe, Dog Dude Drone? Jeez.
Jeez. I think 2.5 years. I think Dog Dude Drone used to watch us on my channel. That's probably where the issue came from. All right, here we go, guys. We're jumping into the Mission Bay fishing explained. Bum, bum, bum.
All right, guys. So Mission Bay is coming up this weekend. I know a lot of you guys are stressing. Mission Bay, I love Mission Bay. It's like fishing. I call it Mission Lake. We usually call it Mission Lake. So it's like fishing a big lake to me. Pretty much all 5 mile per hour zone. So if you're in your yak or float tube or boat, about 5 mile an hour. So it's just a nice day out on the water for me. So here we go. Let's get this started right out here. These are some things we're going to be talking about on tonight's show, which you see all those words right there, Roman? They could be confusing to some of these anglers, and they know they've been watching this show forever. They know what all that stuff is. We got riprap, deep zones, jetties, big areas, dead grass, points, deserts, bridges, docks, structure. We're talking about all this stuff tonight. So this is what the topic is going to be about. So let's go ahead and get this started. This is going to take me a little while because I got a lot to talk about. I love Mission Bay. So let's talk about first the big area. So I'm going to show a lot of maps, guys. And anytime you see an area I've highlighted, that's the area I'm talking about. Let me familiarize you guys a little bit with Mission Bay right here. So right down here is Dana Landing. It's this little area. And then we've got Covarium Basin here. And this is the entire jetty. This is what leads you out to the ocean right here. And I want to talk about the big areas first. When I say big areas, I'm talking like the big wide open areas. Like this area right in front of Dana, Paradise Point's pretty big. but I still consider this kind of a channel. This is where a lot of the water comes in and rushing out of, almost like a river. So the water's rushing out here, and you got these two big areas, which are Sail Bay, which is right up here, and then you've got in front of Crown Point, and between that and Fiesta Island, which is this big area. And these, if you're new to fishing Mission Bay, this is a great area to start, especially down here just past the Ingram Bridge. There's a lot of good grass in here, and this is a very good area to just go in and snatch up a couple of your first spotties. A lot of the time, you're not going to get a lot of the bigger ones. There's sometimes they're in there, but if you're looking to go and just kind of learn how to start grass fishing, these big areas are a great way to do that. And also, if it's a ripping tide, if there's a 5 foot plus tide, and the tide's ripping through here, these are also two great areas to go to during a high tide and a low tide when you're expecting a big tide swing. Only because if you think about it, all this water right here, we've talked about this before, all this water right here is just going to be rushing directly out through this jetty right here. So these areas get like a river right here, Roman. You fish those big areas, don't you?
I do. The back bay, I fish the back of those when it's like too cold, when it seems like it's too, like the tide swing is too big, and there's a lot of current. Those seem to have less current. Well, on the big tide swings, it's just a wider, spread out more. Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't have that ripping current through it. And then you got over here, which is Sail Bay. A little tip about Sail Bay, guys, is watch out for the sailboats. They don't they go straight and they don't touch that rudder. They'll come within 6 inches of your craft. They're not turning a millimeter. So when you're in Sail Bay, watch out. A lot of sailboats over there, and that's this area right here. Watch where you cast. There's big sailboats cruising around everywhere, but that's also a big area with a lot of grass. All right, let's move on. Went up on the SeaWorld ride the other day and took some pictures, doing some recon work of Mission Bay. And this is what I'm talking about, the big areas. So if you look way over here, that's Sail Bay. This big area right here in front of Fiesta Island, that is another big area. I always just call that the area in front of Fiesta Island.
I call it like a ski beach area, like the in front of ski beach.
Ski beach is right over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's a picture from Ski Beach. What's going on with SeaWorld nowadays? That thing turned into Magic Mountain?
Yeah, I think they're trying to change their focus to more like
there's like another roller coaster.
Yeah, I haven't gone since they started putting since the Manta Ray or Stingray, whatever it's called. I think they have like 2 new ones since that one. So I haven't been on any of those. I think they're going more for like the amusement park rides as opposed to like Blackfish.
Yeah, I know. I love roller coasters. I had an annual pass. I get this funny story. My son went there, and he said there was a 3-pound spotty in the electric eel queue, the line, in one of the aquariums. So I bought an annual pass just to go in and check out that fish. And I did see it. I don't know if it was 3 pound, but it was pretty big.
Yeah. That's
but
funny.
there is a big, if you stand in line for electric eel and you go underground,
so funny,
look through that aquarium, there's a big spotty in it. Okay, so this is from Ski Beach launch ramp, first thing in the morning. That's one of the wide open areas I'm talking about. Let's talk about this. This is one of the most important things. This is what I consider myself a grass fisherman. There's a lot of guys that are dock, vertical fishermen, but I love my true love fishing spotties is fishing the grass. It's cast and retrieve. I think you can get such a variety of lures fishing through the grass. If you're fishing crankbaits, jerkbaits, underspins, whatever you're casting and retrieving, I love fishing grass. And I've highlighted some of the areas in the bay that I think are probably the best grass fishing areas. Probably all of them right here.
That's so funny. All right, hang on a second. Give me a second. Let's do a quick shout out for Andre, who broke his skunk today. Got my first spotty of 2023 today. Woohoo! What up, Andre? Nice job, dude.
Great fishing at Andre.
Woo! Sorry for the delay there. I didn't see it till now. Nice job, dude. Very cool. All right, let's keep it rolling.
So the grass areas I've highlighted right here. If you guys are as if they're your first spotty bowl, one piece of advice I would give to you is don't dedicate yourself to one style of fishing. Don't dedicate yourself to only grass or only docks or only the bridges or only the deep zones, because sometimes you got to go to plan B, you got to go to plan C to find these fish. So try to be a well-rounded angler for Mission Bay. Get good at the docks, get good at the deep areas, but make sure you spend some time fishing the grass, because sometimes when these slow days are, you got to find them. And you never know where they're going to be. And grass is generally a spot, I think, that consistently always holds spotties. Maybe not always the big ones, but if you're having a rough day and you're just getting desperate to get at least your 5 fish or at least one fish, the grass isn't a bad place to look. So the heaviest grass areas, you got the big areas I just talked about. Those are pretty much year-round, a lot of grass. Some of this grass is seasonal when the weather gets cold, or it just comes and goes. Just think of it as like grass grows, it dies, and it regenerates. So some areas were grassy last year may not be this year, so you got to search around for it. One area that always consistently has grass is right here in front of SeaWorld. And it in front of SeaWorld, though, sometimes that grass can get so thick if you're not used to fishing grass. I'm going to say that a million times. It can intimidate you from fishing grass because you're throwing it in there and it hits the bottom, and all you're doing, it feels like every time you wind it, you're just dragging in grass. What you have to do in that is you have to mentally throw in the lure and mentally think about how long it's sinking, and then start your crank right before it hits the bottom. And then once you get good at it, you'll actually feel the top of the grass. So this specific area, though, I like to call that like a 12 and 13er area, because it is full of 12 and 13-inch fish, this area right here. And actually my 2 biggest spotties I've ever caught in my life were both out of this area right here. So don't get intimidated by fishing that thick grass. Just think of a fish as like us, and they've got somewhere there they've got to go hide, or it's somewhere where they live, and they'll stick to those spots. And grass sometimes during the year is the area they're going to stick to. And with the grass too comes a lot of food. A lot of the smaller fish, a lot of other stuff hides in this grass. A lot of the crustaceans they eat, a lot of the razor clams they eat are generally in these grassy areas also. So if the docks are like a desert and you're not catching any fish, maybe it's because there's no food in there right now. So you might have to head out to these grassy areas. In front of Paradise Point right over here, it's usually pretty consistent spots. But any of these grassy areas I've highlighted, give them a shot. And what's grass? It looks like this, Roman. You can actually see a fish hiding in the grass right there.
That's true.
But when I talk about grass, that's what I mean. How many times did I say grass? Everybody takes a shot every time I say it.
Leonard said grass is a new pattern.
Yeah, with this spotty bowl, this Mission Bay one, you're going to have to find your pattern. Yeah, we'll talk about patterns a little bit. All right, points. This is something Coach always talks about, something that that a lot of people in a largemouth world do. This is fish the points. So each one of those red dots is a point that I know of. And anytime you have an incoming or outgoing current, you're going to be looking for a point. That is basically just a corner of all these zones where water would be rushing by it. I'm gonna actually, if you had a good chance to look at that picture, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
So a point, let's take this picture for example. See, this is a really good point. You guys all know this spot, but when the water's rushing through here, this point right here will disturb the water and cause like a calm area on the other side of the point.
An eddy.
Exactly. So if you're a fish and tide's ripping through and you're just waiting for something to float by because that's what you're going to eat maybe, they like to sit on those points. That way they don't have to fight the current the entire time. They just sit on those points and they're waiting for whatever to flow by.
So
here's
let's
another point.
go back to that picture, Brian, real quick. Sorry to interrupt you. I want to add a little bit more there.
Absolutely no.
So here, where your mouse is, right? The water's going from left to right. Or right to left.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, let's just say it's going from...
It looks like it's going right to left.
Okay, let's say it's going from right to left. Okay?
This direction.
Okay, how would you cast?
I would cast... So
like, where would you set up your boat and where would you cast to?
I would set up right over here. And or maybe out in front of it and cast out here. But just think of your lure as going past this point because they're sitting there and they're looking upstream. They're always facing upstream. Yep. So they're looking up current.
So where that yellow sign is right there, let's just say the fish is there and it's looking upstream. You'd cast on the opposite side of the point and bring the lure towards them, swim it towards them.
The very first cast is super important.
Okay.
First cast is like you see your point and sometimes you only have one cast. So your first cast is pretty important. Make it count. So you're going to throw it on this side of the point and that fish is watching it go by. Now, don't stop there, though. Throw it there, throw it here, throw it there, throw it like 3, 5, I don't know, 10 spots. Spend 5 minutes trying to pick this area apart. Sometimes they just don't bite it the first time. But a lot of the time, especially on the stuff if you're fishing a vertical bait that's just dropping to the bottom and you're bringing it in real quick, that first cast is pretty important because you're either going to spook them or they're gonna bite it. So
Cool.
position. But I would first cast. I would cast upstream from the point, and then after that, I would cast everywhere.
Cool.
Every direction.
All right, that's good.
Riprap. I've talked a million times about riprap, so I've highlighted all the riprap in Mission Bay. These are really good areas too, especially right here out in front of Dana Landing, across from Paradise Point. There's a really good riprap line around this bridge right here. And when it's slow, it's unfortunately this time of the year, it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear. You can see down easily 10, 15 feet of water, and those fish are looking right up at us. They know they probably know what's going on. But a lot of them will hide in that riprap, and that's like their day because the water's crystal clear. They're not just going to be sitting out in the wide open there. They're going to be hiding in the grass. They're going to be hiding next to a structure, but a lot of them will hide in that riprap. So if you can cast parallel to that riprap, any of the riprap in the bay, sometimes you can get one of those little guys to shoot out of there and bite your lure.
What's up, Coach? Welcome. Good to see you.
Coach, speaking of Coach, hold on, let me skip word. Bam! Now that you're on there, Coach.
Is that Coach?
That's Coach. So
No way.
I just want to show a picture of the riprap here. So if you're like, what's Brian talking about? See this rock right here? This crushed rock?
Yep.
The name for that's riprap. I don't know who came up with that, but that's what it's called. It's just a erosion control device, basically. But when I'm talking about fishing this riprap only usually goes down to right at the base of the sand and then stops.
Yep.
So you want to cast usually parallel with it. You can get the most strike zone out of your money. So if you can cast parallel with that riprap, especially at high tide, a lot of those fish are just hiding in the rocks or they're in there scavenging for something to eat. Hanging out by Coach right there. There's Coach.
Is that actually Coach?
Yeah.
Hey, Joe's got a question. So Joe said, what is riprap? So Joe, riprap is basically the vegetation that's on the pillar itself, right? And also that same kind of vegetation on that same level will grow on the rocks that are usually mostly always submerged. You only see these rocks on low tide. And so when the water line is up above the riprap line, that stuff serves as like cover for the fish that want to hang out on top of the rocks and around the rocks. So if you can fish alongside that or close to that, it's kind of like fishing in the kelp, like where you kind of like looking for calicos, same thing. You're fishing along the riprap. If you can get your lure as close as possible to that without getting snagged, then you have a better likelihood of getting bit. Also, the other thing Brian specified was that, see how like those rocks have it's a grade, it's an angle coming down. As those rocks touch the sand, it's barren. Most of the time, the sand doesn't have anything on it because unless it's eelgrass, but usually eelgrass doesn't grow right up against the rocks. It has a little channel, maybe like a foot to 6 feet, 10 feet, whatever, between where the eelgrass starts and the rocks end. So then there's actually no man's land in between. Like most of the time, the fish will hang out and just on that sand unless it's like a halibut. But that little riprap action gives the fish a nice cover. And then when it's low tide like this, the fish are going to have to be like right up against the rocks, waiting for the tide to come back up so they get back into the riprap, or they'll have to be back into the actual eelgrass across away from there, right? If there's not eelgrass close by, then they're probably really close to the structure, just waiting for that tide to come back up.
John Cartwright has a nice suggestion here. It says the rocks there by the bridge are way smaller than the ones out by the jetty. The jetty rocks are like car size. They handle a lot more water over there, so I think that's why they did it. But you can see the ones Coach is standing on are more like 2 feet across. Yeah, but be careful there, Coach. Those things are slippery right there. John Cartwright also says if you have a fish finder, you can find the edge of the rock. So
yes.
Those rocks probably protrude, I don't know, maybe 10 feet in front of where Coach is standing. And if you can fish that edge, if you can fish parallel with that, that's a good spot to fish. Any of the riprap too. I'm gonna go back to riprap map.
Yeah, in the jetties, it definitely goes out like at least it could go up to 20 feet. You know, like from where the water hits the rock, and you think, okay, it just goes straight down. No, it doesn't. It follow that grade, and that grade will go all the way down, and it'll be out in the channel, maybe like 20 feet in, And there's all kinds of stuff growing on those rocks too, right? Sometimes some of those rocks even have kelp on them. So
Yeah, I mean, and I've highlighted all the riprap that I know of on here. So you can see the Jetty has a ton. Spotty fishing the Jetty, it's more to me if I'm like looking for a sand bass or a calico, or like when we're fishing the species challenge, that's kind of a Jetty area for me. You could get lucky on some spotties out there, but the Jetty itself is it's a buffet of fish. You don't know what you're going to get over there. The rest of the bay is pretty predictable, but you got riprap all over the place on here. You got a lot of riprap too, right over in that SeaWorld channel I was telling you about right there.
Yep.
That's a really good place to learn your skills with the riprap because there's usually not a lot of boats in there. Nice calm water in there sometimes, and you can fish riprap and grass at the same time. So I'm digging that channel right there.
I like fishing crankbaits in that channel. It's fun.
Yeah, you know, crankbaits, you can control them really good on depth, and that's a really good bait to cast it, with the grass laying down. Yeah. One more picture of riprap. If you see riprap and you see something like this, which is this is not going under the water. This is a tree. So if you see something, mainly a tree creating some type of shade, like a structure above the water, I guess you'd call it, a shade right there, that's a spot I would probably cast because fish are just like us. They don't sit out in the sun all day sunbathing. They find their little spot. So if you can find the unicorn like that, where you have some kind of vegetation or anything, dock, whatever, hanging over riprap, that's a pretty good spot right there. Let me show you one other picture while I'm talking. And see this tree right here? We all know this spot. See how it's casting the shadow right here? This whole area right here is shadowy. That time of the day, when you got a shadow casting over the water like that, this water is probably 12 feet deep right there. That's another spot they'll like to hide. They like to go into the shade. These fish love to be in the shade. So if you're fishing out here outside of that shade and you're not getting anything, I would suggest try fishing shade, just like largemouth, just like any type of fish. Anything that's changing the element, which is the shade here, that might be a fish spot that a fish might hang out in. So keep your eye out for shade. Next up, the drop-offs. There's not a lot of drop-offs. In San Diego Bay, we have tons of drop-offs. There's drop-offs everywhere. It's a lot deeper. But in Mission Bay, I highlighted some of the drop-offs that I know of that you might want to look out for. So right after the main bridge right here going off the jetty, there's a drop-off from like 22 feet, and it goes back up to about 17 feet there. There's a drop-off over here. I know you've dove over there a bunch of times, so you know about that drop-off right there. And there's a drop-off right after the Ingram Bridge. And there's a drop-off over here in Sail Bay, too. So keep an eye out for drop-off, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you how to find a drop-off. Hopefully, you guys have a fish finder. If you don't, you kind of just have to feel around for them with your rod. But the drop-offs, anytime you're looking at your fish finder, that's a nice picture, right?
I like it.
So this is I forget where this drop-offs is exactly, but here's the coordinates.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, no worry, they'll find it exactly. They'll find the exact spot. There it is, guys. 32 by 3241.548.
Screenshot it. First one to figure out where that's at. Put it in the chat.
So
all right,
funny.
so it's obviously summer here, but this is what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be like a cliff. It doesn't have. When you think drop off, you're thinking like a 5-foot cliff, right? Really, a drop off can be as subtle as this, which is just a minor difference in the depth of the water from like 29 feet.
It's about 8 feet.
You can see I spotted right here.
Yeah.
That's about a 10-foot drop off, it looks like to me. So a 10-foot drop off is actually pretty major. And you can see how the fish are sitting this drop off because just think of the current going, if it's going this direction, this is a current breakdown here. So they'll sit down here and chill. And not only that, but it's a good ambush spot. So if anything floats by or bait fish come over this, they're in a good ambush position where they can ambush that bait and eat here. So it's in San Diego County. San Diego Bay. Leonard's looking up San Diego Bay. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like a fishy spot. But this is what I'm talking about when I say drop off. Look for this because usually a drop off, anytime you see a drop off, it's probably not going to look like that, but you'll see the drop off and then there'll be 1 or 2 fish right here at the bottom of the drop off. And if you can position yourself to where you're casting it and coming down the drop off to that fish, actually any direction will work. You can cast, along the bottom of the drop off, but they're really waiting for stuff to come over that drop off. So if you can cast that drop off and then drag it right around the bottom, you got a pretty good chance of getting a fish there. Here's another drop off. This is Mission Bay. Oh, my coordinates aren't on this one. I wonder why. But so this is 9 feet deep right here, and then you can see there's I didn't snap my picture fast enough, but there's a pretty good drop off right there. 62 degrees, so that's a wintertime picture too. So look for stuff like this, and if I can move my fish finder over, there's probably a fish sitting right there. The jetty. So the jetty is the exit of the bay. Like I said, you can fish for spotties there. I know, right on the rocks by the lifeguard channel. There's maybe get lucky over there. But the jetty's kind of a mixed bag. A lot of sand bass, a lot of calico, a lot of the species challenge fish. This is what the jetty looks like. It's just a big, wide open space heading out to the ocean. That's how you get out to the ocean right there. It's another picture of the jetty. Not much. What do you got to say about jetty? You've dove in there many times, right?
Yeah, jetty's cool. It's a bunch of stuff, and yeah, there's
underwater view. What
everything.
Do you see spots in there?
There's bodies in there, yeah. Mostly calicos and sand bass. But you'll see like anything. Yeah, I mean anything coming in out of the bay has to go through there. So you'll see sharks, white sea bass. I even heard people catching yellowtail on the point. So you'll see a bunch of stuff in there. It's crazy.
Yeah, if Aaron Kruger says there's fish everywhere in Mission Bay, I agree. At some points, especially in the summer, I feel like you could just go cast anywhere and there's a fish. Yeah, I believe in a certain time. And a lot of the time we'll be biting full speed like for an hour and then nothing. Yeah, timing is everything, Aaron. And you know that. If you don't know Aaron Kruger, follow him on Instagram. He's certified spotty slayer. I've fished with him many times, and yes, it's being at the right place at the right time. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Aaron, you changed your Instagram name, right? Can you tell us what your Instagram name is right now? Also, shout out to One Cool Tuna in the house. What up?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Jeff? Welcome.
Deep zone. So Mission Bay, guys, is pretty flat. You go beyond the first bridge, and you're pretty much 20 feet to 12 feet deep most of the entire bay. So that's why I call it Mission Lake. It's flat, it's grassy, but there is a deep zone. I mean, it's not deep like San Diego Bay, but it can get up to 30 feet deep here sometimes.
Yeah, deep for San Diego Bay. What's up, Sammy? And what's up, SoCal Steve? Welcome.
Deep for Mission Bay, but yeah, so this whole deep zone right here, this is an area you want to keep an eye on. It even goes all the way to Bait Barge and Quivary in this deep area. But if you're out here and you've been skunked all day, you fished the grass, you fished SeaWorld, you fished all these bridges, you might take a gander over the deep area because sometimes those big fish will just hunker down in that deep area right there. I don't know if they just are down there. Maybe it's darker down there. They're getting out of the light. Maybe, I don't know. But this is an area that don't give up on. Try the deep area. Sometimes if you almost have to have a sonar fish finder to go in there and poke around and see if there's anything in there, because it's pretty much the desert on the bottom. But if you can just find the smallest little rock or a little tiny patch or something on your fish finder, these deep areas can pay off sometimes. So,
yeah, so some of that has to do with like the level of oxygen in the water, right? Because it's not like for us, wherever we go, for the most part, we have the same amount of oxygen in the air. But for fish, the water, even the water temperature, how active the water is, can affect how much oxygen is in the water for them to breathe. So maybe just going to those deeper spots where there's current is more beneficial for them to be able to breathe easier, right?
It makes sense. I mean, if you think all the way up here in the eastern portions of this bay or north portions of it, could be really polluted, especially this back zone right here. So there's pretty much a drainage ditch that's going in here all the time now, and it's just basically the polluted waters. A lot of this area back over here. So if there's something they don't like, if you think there's something they don't like that it smells or tastes, probably I would guess, if I had to guess, the cleanest water is probably in this area right over here. So maybe they're getting away from something too.
Yeah, Jeff's got a good question. So my name is Jeff. Says, fishing those drop-offs, do you let your reel free spool to hit the bottom as you're dragging from the top of the hill, or do you just kind of let it swing across while reeling?
Oh, a perfect question. So when I'm casting my lure, if I'm in shallow water, right when it hits the water, I'll engage the clutch and I'll keep an eye on that line. And as soon as your braid goes limp, you see just go across the surface, that's when you start reeling.
Okay, so when your lure hits the water, it's not you don't let it free spool and go straight down. It's actually sinking at an arch.
Yeah, well, only when I'm in shallow water I do that.
Okay.
When I'm in the deep water and I want to get a long strike zone as possible, I'll cast it as far as I possibly can. I'll leave the clutch disengaged and let that thing fall all the way to the bottom, especially if you're throwing it with the current, and I'll get a longer strike zone out of it that way.
In deep water. Got it.
The difference, though, if you're fishing in somewhere that's really grassy, if you can get really good at timing your bait right before it hits the bottom, because if you hit the bottom and your first crank, you get a little fistful of grass that scared the fish, and they're not going to bite that. So your first couple casts, try to get your timing down. I do a mental count in my head, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hit the bottom. So next time on 4 count, I'm going to start cranking it because I know it's a foot or so above the bottom, so that I don't get all that grass watered up on my first cast. So mentally note how long it takes to get to the bottom in the shallow areas. The deeper areas, chuck it, leave your bail open, let it hit the bottom, and then start turning. Attention fall, yeah, that's what it's called, Muto. So deep zones, don't give up on those. Like I said, 30 feet deep is probably your deep zone in Mission Bay. Bridges, so there's 3 bridges in Mission Bay. They've all produced big fish. I've caught big fish at these. Everybody's fished these pylons a gazillion times. You got the North Ingram Bridge. You got the Ingram Bridge. That's where Coach was fishing over there. And let me show you some pictures here. So this right here is the bridge going out to the jetty. This is, if you guys don't know, this is Mission Bay.
That's so funny.
This is what the bridges are. I just want to show this picture. By the way, that's a hot tub pontoon. Hopefully our group will get that one day. But what?
How did I know that spot? Nice bridge.
So the bridge is right here. So this is the Ingram Bridge, I believe. Look at this closely.
It would have been funny if you had the same boat in front of all the bridges.
Don't think that just the fish are just hanging out right at the 5 feet from this pylon. If you're fishing these bridges, think of a bigger. Go back to the other picture. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, keep going.
Water's so calm. Yeah. So don't think that you have to be hugging these pylons. These fish are in a bigger radius around this. They're not gonna. Don't worry about getting it like. When you cast it, don't think you have to be hugging that pylon, because if you go under the water, actually under there's usually a big ball of junk attached to that pylon. So I would recommend like a 5 foot away from that pylon. Let me move on to another one. This pylon right here is kind of deceiving. It looks like it's a giant structure, but if you dive down maybe 5-6 feet under the surface with like that, the actual pylon is this right here. It goes straight down. This is just like, I think, something to stop boats from ramming it or something. I don't know.
It's like a
structure to protect
barrier.
the pylon.
Yeah,
that right there is hollow. So, I love fishing this because I think there's a lot of shade created by this. If you ever go there during a certain time too, there's little holes right on the side. It's like a blowhole. They're like blowing air, blowing water out of there. Go Bay Creepers.
Certified Bay Creeper. More bridges, please.
Yeah, that's our mermaid. She's gone, but she was there for a while. That was pretty cool.
That was fun.
The bridges here, guys, during a big tide, seriously, during a big tide, this might be not a good area because the tide is ripping through there so much. There is a big drop off on the back of this. So to contradict what I just said, sometimes that big drop off when that tide's rushing in can actually hold a lot of fish. So like I said, don't think the fish are probably going to be right on these pylons, but don't be afraid to go 20 feet out from these pylons. Yeah. There's, the sand creates weird things when there's a structure in the water, it usually creates a big divot. There's, at the bottom of these pylons. Let's go back to this picture real quick. And there's riprap over here, guys. Check out that riprap all along this beach right here. That's riprap and that's a pylon. All right, let's move on from bridges. Tides. I'm not going to discuss tides tonight that much. We've done so many shows on this but keep an eye on the tides, guys. A good thing to do is when you know outgoing tides and you're in a specific spot and it's blowing up, remember where you're at on the outgoing, remember where you're at on the incoming tides, because some spots are good incoming, some spots are good outgoing. So it's good to know, check it out and know when you're on the water what the actual tide is doing and when it's slack tide. You want to always keep a mental note of high tide fish, low tide fish, incoming and outgoing, where they're at, and remember that. So if you got a 6 foot tide, incoming tide, and last time they was hot during that type of tide, try that spot first because it could be good for that type of tide. So keep an eye on your tide. Structures, all kinds of structures in Mission Bay. Here's one right here. So keep an eye out for stuff like this. This is the SeaWorld pylons. This spot right here, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, used to be covered in smoothhound sharks, like the gray smoothhounds, everywhere. And they've since gone. I haven't caught one of those there for a while, but keep an eye out for structure like this. I mean, largemouth, spotties, everything. You're always looking for structures. So don't, go over here, drop a couple of submission fishing code jigs right next to those pylons or whatever you're gonna
right next to the pylons, not in there, because some of those have angles and there's probably a bunch of sharp stuff on those things.
If you get one, if you hook up to a fish and you're in the middle of that, you're gonna have a struggle pulling her out. Yeah. But do what you got to do. But then structures you want to look for in your fish finder. I call some areas like a desert. I'm always fishing with Salty, and I'm like, dude, it's a desert down there. There's nothing down there. We'll be looking to video game fishing, which means we're driving around in the boat or the kayaks looking for something on the bottom. We can't find the fish, so we're looking for something. It's something as small as this, which looks like either maybe a little rock with some grass growing on it, kelp or something like that. It looks like a rock with kelp. Something as small as that can hold fish. So if you are paddling around and you see something like that, stop, drop on it, cast on it 5 times, see if there's something down there. So
stop dropping reel.
Stop
dropping reel.
Yeah. So look for that specific type of stuff, especially if it's a desert where there's no grass, it's just barren land, you can't even find anything. Look for a piece of structure. If you're going from spot A to spot B, don't stop in between. If you see something like that, drop. You never know what's going on there. And if it's a spot in the middle of nowhere and nobody's fishing over there because everybody's on the bridges, everybody's in the docks, everybody's in the grass, and you're going from spot to A to B, somebody may have not fished that spot yet, and there may be a big fish there. So what do we got here? 60. It's like 63 degrees there almost, 13 feet. That's a pretty good spot. No coordinates on that one. Sandy beaches. So anywhere there's not riprap, it's pretty much a sandy beach. You can see I highlighted all the sandy beaches around here. Sandy beach fishing. So you're looking for sandy beaches like that. This is right out here in front of Paradise Point kind of area. Sandy beaches, sometimes the grass, high tide, I would say there's an area where the grass is kind of fishable up to them. But the sandy beaches, a lot of these shore anglers know that this, how often do you see the shore anglers on the sandy beaches? Probably not very often, because I don't know. How do you feel about sandy beaches?
Well, when you can see the grass line is kind of nice because you can fish along the grass line, but
yeah,
it's about structure. It's like having that desert, right? So you want to have, you can have a sandy beach that's like next to like a couple of channels of eelgrass, right? And if you like set up right between the 2 channels of eelgrass, you have like that little sandy spot between the channel, and you have like a nice little area to fish, right, without getting stuck and all that stuff. So I don't know, it
you're not a sandy beach guy either.
It's fun.
Sandy beach is a low tide or produce fish for him. Sandy beaches, if I'm looking for a halibut, I think that's probably where the sand transitions and all the grass and all that. I think that's probably good. Or looking for a croaker or something weird. But spotties, maybe.
Yeah, sandy beaches on low tide makes sense because the fish are like waiting for that eelgrass to get back in the deep. So they're staged up on the deep side of the eelgrass because they have nowhere to go, right?
I can see that.
And after a certain point, the eelgrass just doesn't grow. So it's just even more barren, and it's actually like the bottom is more silty, right? So they won't be sitting on that because then they're sitting in mud, like it's too soft for them to sit on, right? So they want the sand that's like being washed constantly, so it's not dusty or silty, and then they also want to be close to something, so they usually relate to the backside of that eelgrass that might already be showing the front side because it's so shallow, right? So that makes sense. How salty you can get them on that low tide.
I tend to find that it's not grass; it's like that moss. You know, that moss that just if you throw an A-rig in moss and you pull that out,
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that 5 minute adventure trying to pull all that out.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it might be one of the reasons I don't do a lot of sandy shore fishing. You know,
I think
if
this
you're
year for
50 feet off that shore, yeah.
I think
but
this year I think you need to do more weedless style setups. Like that's very like you got to have a weedless style setup, like a bullet Texas rig weight, like a bullet weight with a Texas rig. That's a
gonna be.
that's a go-to right there.
Oh yeah,
Because like then you won't have to worry about that weird silty stuff or that I know what you're talking about. It's kind of looks like seaweed paper almost, but it's like
yeah. It's like moss and like
Yeah.
I don't know, strings. It's
yeah.
Yeah, moss is a no-go. Move on. That's right, Salty. Hate it. Everybody hates that, especially the A-rig. So sand for me, give it a shot. I wouldn't spend a lot of time there though, but you never know. There's my son fishing our float tube.
Choo.
Yeah, so he's fishing from a sandy kind of area right there, but see where he's at.
Yeah.
Like with largemouth fishing, when it's spawning season, I'll cast that baby all the way up on the beach and drag it in.
Yeah.
Because those largemouth, they'll sit, 6-12 inches of water. But spotties, I don't get that style. But if you come off like my son is here, like fishing like 50 yards off, 20 yards off. What am I saying? What's this in Canadian? 100 feet off.
Yeah.
I would say there.
Doesn't sandy equal Hallie? Yeah, that's another good point, Doug.
Yeah, I would
I'm sorry,
say.
I call him Doug. Triple D,
Dude.
Zach. Yeah, it makes sense. Like Hallie will bury themselves just in the straight up sand, but even like the Hallie that I've seen in the sand, like while snorkeling around, they don't just bury themselves somewhere random. It's always like near structure or near like a little dip in the topography. Like they're setting up an ambush, right? So even then, like if you're fishing for Hallie, I think you still want to fish around some kind of structure that other fish could relate to, because that's the fish they're trying to eat, right? So they wouldn't set up an ambush in an area that's not patrolled by prey, I guess.
That exact spot my son's fishing at, we've caught halibut there. So they
Nice.
do that sand grass transition. That's a good spot. But yeah, you're totally right, Roman. There, I'm specifically talking about spotties tonight, guys.
Cool.
Spotty bowl. Okay, here we go. You guys have been waiting for this. Docks. So Mission Bay, it's not limited on docks, but it's not like San Diego Bay where you have unlimited docks throughout San Diego Bay. So I've highlighted all the docks in Mission Bay. You've got them scattered, kind of some small docks.
Have you fished those right there, the ones next to the right where it says beach above it?
Mission Bay.
I haven't had that much luck in the ones in between, like Guadalupe Cove, I guess it's called. Down a few. Yeah, those don't do. There's also moorings there too.
Like paddle wheel boat parks.
Yeah,
not a lot.
I haven't done well in those.
Kind of area. Docks are docks. You can you just don't know. You don't know what's there till you go, right? So these are all the docks in Mission Bay. Obviously the most popular one is Quivarium Basin, which is down here. That's got mainly because it's the most amount of docks. It's near the jetty, so it's clean water. It's deep, so if you're vertically fishing,
that is nice. The deep ones are nice. The ones up there by Campland, top right, those are so shallow.
Super grassy over here.
Super
Remember,
grassy
guys,
and shallow,
there's a preserve right over in this area too. It's marked with buoys that you're not allowed to fish in. So I think that's the only area I know of in Mission Bay that you're not allowed to fish in, which is marked over here. But this area right here is so thick of grass, but you just never know,
And shallow too.
It's a long journey on a kayak to get over there for a little amount of docks over there.
I don't think it's worth. Also, there's that section to the right of that where there's like right there, where there's like on the north side, I guess there's all of that. It's rocks against this riprap.
Yeah,
that's fun.
This is all sandy. This is kind of a riprap area.
I've done pretty well right there with what are they called? Spinner baits.
Oh yeah. Grassy area, spinner bait all day. You guys ever want to catch a stingray? Right over in this area right here is all sand and shallow and warm, and they go back into this area right here if you ever want to go stingray hunting. But yeah, this area back here, mainly the Quivarium Dock is what it's known for. Here's a view from the SeaWorld Skyride, the docks right across from it. One thing I want to point out about, I think the reason that this area is not as popular as some of the other docks is, you see the way these boats are positioned. So you got a pylon right here, right? You got a pylon to drop on, but you go all the way down this, and all the pylons, I don't know why they had to design it this way, are right here in the middle. So unless there's an open slip right here, it's hard to fish these docks pylons. And a lot of you guys are just strictly dropping on pylons. This is a good area because there's shade, but pylon fishing, nah, there's not a lot there. And when I say pylon, this is what I'm talking about. So to me, this is like the golden ticket. This is in Dana Landing right there. But if you're going to dock fishing, first thing you want to look for is a pylon like this right here. And these go all the way down to the bottom. And in some areas, there's one every other boat. So you just drop on these pylons. But if you can find yourself the golden ticket here with a boat that's not in its slip, don't forget to cast something in there. Or if you're in a little slippery little kayak and or float tube and you can scoot right in here, try getting in here because there's a pylon back here, and maybe this is something that the boaters or some of the lazy kayaker guys just go right on by and they haven't gone in here yet. So scoot your little kayak in there and see what you can find in those shade. It's not a bad spot, but that's what you're looking for in the docks is those pylons. This is what is that, Roman? That looks like
That's Mission Bay. That's Dana Landing.
Is that Dana Landing?
No, this is SeaWorld.
Oh yeah, another pitch I took from SeaWorld. So Quivarium Basin's, let me go back to the map. Quivarium Basin, if you're dock fishing, I mean, sometimes that dock is where you want to be. That's where the fish are. But sometimes you go in there and you've dropped every pylon in 10 rows, haven't got a bite. And, you're a dock fisherman. That's what you're used to. But guys, if it's not there, I'm sorry. If it's not there, it's not there. As much as we want to go in and just lazy kayak guys,
Slay the docks.
But as much as you want to fish your style that you know is going to work certain times of the year, but isn't working, I'm talking winter fishing. I'm talking this weekend's fishing. If you go, I mean, maybe who knows? The docks could be going off. Who knows? But if they're not going off, you got to switch to a plan B and at least try a different style. If you're going to the deep channel, if you're going to the grass, if you're going to the riprap, if you're going to the bridge, I would recommend not spending your entire day doing one style of fishing. Like, and if you're in the grass, same thing goes to that. If you're fishing grass all day long, you haven't got a bite, maybe go to the docks, maybe go to the bridge, maybe go to the deep zone. Just move around. You got 6 hours. You got a lot of time. All right, let's move on from this, Roman.
Give me a second. Very cool. Do me a favor, guys. If you're watching and you're enjoying the show so far and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, boys. We're at 595 subscribers. I'm watching the live feed, and I think I fixed the alert. So if you subscribe, you might get an alert. What else? If you want to jump out of the chat real quick, hit that like button and come right back into the chat. We have 45 people watching and 37 likes. Let's try to get the likes to the viewers. Okay. Let's roll.
All right. Last thing I'm going to say about Mission Bay on this is so you guys don't get too discouraged about this weekend, especially you guys that did a pre-fish. And you're like, I didn't catch one fish. This is terrible. I got one fish, whatever. Here's the results, guys, from last year's pro division. So week 1, we did San Diego Bay, some pretty decent numbers here. This is Mission Bay, guys, last year. And these are good anglers right here. And you can see the numbers we had, 12, 26, 24s, and there's a lot of small numbers in here. So guys, this weekend, just concentrate on trying to get that 5 fish. It looks like to me in this entire category, 1, 2, maybe 3 people got 5 fish out of, 30 people? So these are last year's numbers, guys. So don't be discouraged because your pre-fish went bad. I mean, it's Mission Bay in the winter. This is last year's Masters. I'm the guy that sits here and talks about Mission Bay all day long and how I love it. I pulled out a 23-inch on week 2. Wow. That's 2 fish, Roman.
That's crazy. Dude.
Angler who is one of the best spotty fishermen I know pulled out a 10.
Oh, wow. Salty slacking over here.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but pulled out a 10. Adobo, who lives on Mission Bay, I think that's probably 4 fish, pulled out a decent number of 55, but you can see these numbers. We got Dino here, Jig Pow, 23 too. Yep. So I think Mission Bay second week, the cool thing about it is Salty, dang, my pre-fish was around 6 inches. Good for you, Salty. So
I like that we
I think this is like
Go ahead.
This is a good week for, I think, anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the one week that
Come in and take that fast lane prize, boys. Let's go.
that's right. Hook and Carries with Bob came in and he won his first one at 69 inches.
Oh, that's right.
So I think, some of these guys that are winning it like every other week, I think this is anybody can win it this week. Think of it as that way, guys.
Mm-hmm. I like how we have stats from previous years now. Like any other sport, like, oh yeah, like watching the football game, they're giving you weird stats. And now we have some stats for the spotty bowl. Very cool.
But you can see that we were hitting the 70s in San Diego Bay. So I mean, and then this is Masters. There's a lot of 4 fish, 2 fish, 0 fishers in here. So
look at that. Look at number 21, that loser.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, goose egg. I don't think I fished that week.
Saying like Danny Martinez, Slayer, 10-inch, tide salty. I'm just saying it's anybody's game. Do I have any more statistics? You guys want to see pro again?
That's so funny.
That's all I'm gonna say about Mission Bay. Keep your heads up. Try to get the 5. I think if you can get 5, you're gonna be in the top 10, maybe top 5. I think that's what kind of weekend this is gonna be. So I'm gonna exit my screen share here, Roman.
Very cool. It's funny to see those numbers, dude. So cool.
Yeah.
All you fishing beasts out here. Very nice.
All right, guys. So now we're going late here. I got to start talking fast. Okay? So I'm going to transition here to PB shoutouts. Give me a second here.
Right, cool. Let's see if I have this thing queued up. I do have it queued up. All right. So next we're going to do what's known as PB shoutouts. And it's going to be awesome. We had our first big wave of LAOC County, LAOC participation. So welcome everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Here we go. Let's do this intro and do some air instruments, I guess. Here we go. Oh, you ready?
We've seen you out on the water.
Brian's missing.
They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shout Out.
All right.
Let's do it. All right. So if you don't know who that is Cal up front, double fisting. If you want to be on PB Shoutouts, direct message me on Discord or on Instagram. That's at Brian Likes to Fish. Send me a picture. Send me some statistics about your fish, what you caught it on, lure, bait, whatever, and give me a little story about that thing. So first up, this guy right here. So if you don't know look at the size of that thing. So if you don't know who this is Julian. He goes by Big Brown Jules on Discord.
Awesome.
He's skunked first week of the LAOC Spotty Bowl. Dang. Sorry about that, Julian. It's all right.
Look at that thing.
When you go up to Newport, you're going to slay it. But the picture of this is from my PB Sandy I caught 1 month ago. He caught it on a 13 Omen black rod, a 13 spinning reel, 20-pound braid, 1/4 ounce skunk buster lure tube directly to braid. Cool. It hit really hard, fought hard at first, and then it mellowed out. Yeah, that's what those sand bass will do. Once it got close, thing felt crazy solid.
That's awesome.
Picture here. Look at that sucker right there. It looked bloody. It looked bad, but that thing swam away super strong. Caught him from a dock.
That's awesome.
He says that the reel that he uses, that 13 reel, is now currently on sale for $50 on Amazon too.
Oh wow!
Give a shout out to that reel. So, what are we looking at here? You push that tail right there. That's a 21 1/4, maybe 21 1/2 inch spotty or not spotty. That's sand bass. Yeah. So nice fish there, eh?
Very nice. Nice job, Julian.
Right,
shout out.
Woo. Nice job, Julian.
What's his name on Discord or Instagram?
Big Brown Jules.
Big Brown Jules on Discord. Let's go.
Yeah. Next up, we got a hand of somebody. That's Peter86's hand if you don't recognize it. He doesn't send pictures of himself anymore after I doctored up the one of him on Black's Beach. He started only sending in hand photos at this point. Another short story out of Mission Bay on the kayak. Was about to wrap up a slow day. Only caught 4 spotties. Don't say only. That's actually a pretty good day. He's talking about this weekend. Was just tossing around, waiting for the boat to finish launching, and hooked onto this guy. First time I've ever caught one, so I guess it's my PB bonefish. These fish are really great fighters, but they're super slimy.
Gross.
Caught it on a Phoenix M1 rod with a Daiwa reel, 2000 spinning reel on 10-pound Power Pro and 6-pound line. 6-pound line, guys. So 4 fish, 6-pound line. That's all I'm saying. So he's giving you hints. He caught it on the jigger rig, which that's a pretty cool way to fish. There it is in his kayak again. You know those things fight good. Look at that size of that tail.
Yeah.
All right, next up, this guy. This guy who did really good in the Los Amigos Bay Spotty Bowl. And if you don't know who that is Sean Fitzsimmons. What's up?
What's up, Sean? Nice job.
I went out fishing this afternoon around 10 to 1 p.m. At slack tide. It was dead bite. I threw mainly crankbaits. Still working certain depths with multiple types of crankbaits, but nothing produced. I ventured back out, found his friend John, and the tide changed, and we managed to stick a few with different techniques. We adapted using some slower approaches, like a combat craw rigged on a Ned rig head, whatever that is. And I like to use a little rabbit from Deb's, preferably in green glitter. I'm assuming that's a scent with the swing ball head.
Oh, I think it's like a crab cell.
Same guy. This is Sean. He says, this is a rad photo of me and my son in the adventure during Alamitos Bay. I brought an A-rig and decided to cast it out while my son was playing.
That's awesome.
The A-rig was a 1/4 ounce lead heads with 3.8-inch Kitex thrown from shore. This is a rig I specifically made because it's bladed and it's made by G-Funk and it goes right through the grass very easily.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations. Right on. Nothing like an A-rig fish. Future angler right there. I can see it in his face.
That's awesome.
All right, next up. Look at this guy.
Holy.
That's what I said. This funny story. So that's Jared. Jared on simple. It's Jared on Discord. What's up, Jared? Thanks for sending in this picture. All right, this is my PB bluefin, 135 pounder, Roman. That's a lot of fish right there. I don't know what rod because I was on a private boat with dirt tackle, so he doesn't know what to do. Fishing something good, assuming to get that in. Just don't let if you go out on somebody else's boat, just don't let them hand you a 3,000 size spinning reel to catch.
That's a huge deck, dude. That's a big boat.
Because you're gonna be in for a bite. We got this on the kite with a flying fish lure.
Very nice.
The fight was gnarly, almost 2 hours back and forth. Oh gosh, that sounds painful. We got it on the deck, and at that moment, the hook fell out of its mouth.
Oh my god!
Super lucky. The deckhand Eugene had to help me hold it up because my arms were so worked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you look like you're struggling there.
That's awesome.
It was an awesome fish. Yeah, that is an awesome fish. Good job, Jared. Nice fish. Next up, this guy, certified saltwater bass player. He's always catching fish. I don't know anybody that catches more saltwater bass than this guy right here. If you don't know who that is one of our sponsors. That is Chad from Hookup Baits. Jeez, look at the size of that calico.
That's awesome.
You can always tell it's big by like that shape of that bottom lip when you're holding them, and those big ones that kind of like curls over. You know what I mean? That's funny. A guy right there. Had a great day of winter fishing last Friday. Found some big bass on a squid bed.
Oh.
On the 2-ounce chub and 1.5-ounce sexy smelt double rigged was on fire. Bam! Some more pictures.
That's awesome. Oh, wow.
The 5 people on his boat caught almost 200.
Wow.
40 each. 200 of them.
Look at that sand bass on the right.
With 8 of them going up to 6 pounds.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Maybe on that boat.
That's freaking awesome.
He says he was doing the CCA online bass tournament and measured for the top 5, which was 107 inches. Jeez, what was number 1?
Wow.
Somebody must have. Jeez, 107 inches for 5 fish. That's let me see that 20. That's over 21 inch average. He was on his boat, the hub boat. We were using medium weighted spinning setups with 30 to 50 pound braid, 25 pound leader, number 2 owner swivel, 3-way swivel, 2 and 1.5 ounce hookup baits. He said the big bass pulled.
That's awesome. That's a cool shot.
Especially hard when you're catching 2 at a time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
day like this. Tim and he's out there with Tim and wife Tara, and he was out there with Bill Bose of I'm sorry, Boise. I'm sorry if I got that name right. Bill Boise, who's a big deal in the fishing world.
Cool.
He's out of the TV show Destination Baja on the Fishing Network.
Oh, very nice.
Went out with him. That's this guy right here. Looks like he's having a good time too.
Mm-hmm.
Caught him on Shimano rods, Saragusa 5,000 and 6,000 reels. All catches were released.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'll take you down there sometime. I will hold you to that.
That sounds like it's gonna be an awesome episode.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So there you go. There's Chad with his epic.
Dude, that thing is so fat. Dang.
Look at the gut.
I know. So
That's
cool.
22 inch. Yeah, so that's a nicey. Is
Very
that a
nice.
calico? Got some weird colors on her.
Dang.
There it is on the, looks like a 2-ouncer. All right, next up, we got this guy. You don't know who that is? That is Tyler. What's up, Tyler? Thanks for coming. PB shoutouts. First time on PB shoutouts.
Very cool.
This is his PB sand bass over the weekend using a knocker rig.
Oh, interesting.
With an Akuma bait caster and a 10 to 20 pound bass rod. After setting the hook, he tried to drag me back down into the rocks twice before I was able to get him out of the rocks. Made a couple of good runs, ripping the drag. I flipped him onto the deck after that. Hard fight. I felt sore the next day from that fish. Weighed 5.5 pounds. That's a nice one. And a boat he was on the Dolphin.
Oh man.
Nice. That double fisting too.
Night Muto, thanks for tuning in, dude. Guys, make sure you guys have subscribed to Submission Fishing Co. He's on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Go check him out. Check out his live stream, and everybody say good night.
Looks like the inshore bass fishing is pretty good. With Tyler out there and Chad out there and Julian out there, all getting some pretty big sandies out there. I need to get out there. I'll see if I can find some tournament when I'm not fishing a tournament, I guess, which is never. All right, next up, guys sent in a few pictures right here. If you don't know who that is Sammy P on
That's
you.
Cool.
What's up, Sammy? Fishing out of the kayak. Looks like he's in Los Alamitos Bay to me right there.
Alamitos.
Sorry. It's like a foreign land to me. I don't have the OC accent down yet. All right. Picked up this 28-inch halibut.
Oh.
Bam. There he is. Got him right there on his hog trough, sitting on his lap.
Sandwiches.
Got a 28-inch halibut.
That's a 29 easy.
Yeah. These people need to, pull that tail over a little. Sometimes it's hard to measure a halibut, though.
Do you measure halibut at the fork or at the tail?
It depends. If I'm just fun fishing like he was, I'm just slapping it on there just to get an idea.
Over 22, it's good. Yep.
You're in a tournament, you're getting that tail at the longest point. But he said 28 and a half. So 28 and a half inch halibut. Cool. He caught that baby on a 1/4 ounce hub last January. He also caught the same day. Look at this day. Bam! Caught himself a spotty on the same hub bait, sardine color, and he also caught this. What a day!
Wow.
Dang.
That's cool.
Caught himself a white sea bass, also on a 1/8 ounce hub. So congratulations.
That's small, dude. Right? An 1/8 ounce?
Well, yeah. That's
crazy.
a juvenile for sure.
Go for it,
Hey, man, catch and release, right? I'll catch that and release it. I'd probably put up a nice fight. Okay, awesome. Next up, look at this guy. That's the danger zone right there.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
That's dangerous. That's I don't know where that stinger's pointed, but somewhere where you probably don't want it.
Maybe it just looks that way because of the angle of the photo, but that's freaking awesome.
If you don't know who that is David on Discord. He is the OC Gray Ghost. Man, that's a cool name.
Yeah, that's an awesome catch, too.
So what's up, David? Caught this big butterfly ray on a bladed jig on my float tube.
Wow.
Good fight. Took a while. I landed, was very cautious about his stingers during this specific selfie.
Yeah, can you imagine so he landed it while on the water. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
man, that probably tows you around, right? I mean, you have no leverage against it. You kind of just you're gonna get a cramp from swimming against it. You probably just let it take you.
Your legs are part of the system. You're using that to fight. All right.
Yeah.
I caught it in Newport Bay on a 7'6" medium Phoenix M1 inshore. Is that the most popular rod right now? I mean, almost every fish has been caught on that. I love the M1. So M1 Phoenix. Caught it on a Diacoastal 200 with 12-pound mono. It towed me around for a bit. Yeah, I bet it did. Some kind of China bladed bait jig. He doesn't know. I guess it's Amazon special, I guess. Fought it for about 10 minutes. No net.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Manhandled it by the mouth.
Oh my gosh.
It was very dorsal for the picks. Yeah, maybe. I mean, when you're getting manhandled, but you got something jammed down your mouth.
Oh my gosh.
That goes dorsal too. Released them. No problem. Bad thing is, right when I hit the water, splashed me.
Oh, that's the least of your worries. You made it out. You're winning. You're winning.
Yeah, he didn't.
Oh my gosh.
There he is on the float tube. Yeah, watch out, guys. There's a pokey part around here. You might want to watch out that thing. So there you go. Obviously, experienced guy, David.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know where to hold it.
I know where to hold it, over the side of the boat and shake that hook out of its mouth. That's the way I hold those things.
At the end of my pliers.
Yeah.
So funny.
All right, next up, finally, we got some largemouth action. What's up? Where are all my largemouth guys at, dude? So this is Cash. I met him and his dad up there in OC. What's up, Cash? I got this picture for PB Shoutouts. It was a 24-inch. I think it was a 6 to 7 pounder, and you know, largemouth, they get some weight behind them. You know, we consider a 2-pound spotty a big one, but man, you hook yourself into a 7-pound largemouth. You got something on the line there.
On a little jointed swim bait, dude. That's nice.
So I like your. If you don't notice, he's got a measuring device there. You know, that's probably about 11-inch foot, maybe. That's so funny. Maybe a 12, but. That if you don't have a measuring device, you know, put your 2 feet together. That's 24 inches usually. Yep. So you can see he's probably pretty accurate on that measurement. He says 24 inches. I'm going to agree.
That's cool.
That's 2 feet. Caught it in a little city pond on a custom bluegill swim bait using a medium heavy Phoenix Maxim rod with 15-pound fluoro. Let's see his bait here. Bam. You know what? To get that on that bait too is so much fun. You know, these guys that fish the big swim baits like that put in so much time to get that big one monster. So congratulations, Cash. I know that probably was not an easy fish to catch. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a private pond where it is, but to get it on that lure, that's pretty cool. Next up, we got this guy, which it happens to be me.
Jeez.
To show off.
What happened to this fish, man? Did you put weight in his mouth?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
God, that thing is so plump.
I caught this thing, and this thing was only like 12 3/4 inches long.
Oh my God.
If you put a measuring device around his nut, I'm gonna say that thing is 12 3/4 around too. Man.
Oh my God, that thing is so fat. Dude.
Have you ever seen a so disproportionate fish as that? I mean,
not in the wild, dude. I've never seen something like that in the wild. Maybe something close, like that's all the fish look at, like a Birch aquarium. But this thing is so fat, dude. Oh my gosh. Holy.
That's Fatty McGee right there, dude. He's not messing around, dude. He's eating everything in sight.
Yeah, like an octopus or something, dude.
I don't know. I caught that fish. I was just astonished. I did not weigh him. I should have, but I picked that thing. It was probably only 1.5 pounds, but man, dimensions on that thing. He's a buff guy. He's naturally buff right there, man. Dude. That guy's walking around the spotty area. He's, you know,
that guy's getting the square shirt or the boxy shirt, dude.
And Roman, with that is it for PB Shoutouts. I'm going to go ahead and exit my screen share here.
Oh my gosh. Round of applause for all of you guys that send in pictures to PB Shoutouts. Wow. That's amazing. That was amazing. Dad bod.
Yeah, he's got the buff dad bod.
Stay on the couch, drinks beer all day. Nice.
And there you go, Roman. So, guys. Puffer fish. I know. Maybe he took a big deep breath. I don't know.
Oh, it's crazy, dude.
Quite like it. I've caught a few of those in my time. That one's pretty good. So, guys, I don't know if that Mission Bay maps and all that kind of helped you. Maybe give you a few new ideas of some areas to go try. This weekend's going to be tough, guys. Crystal clear water, 54, 55 degree water makes for a slow bite. Think of it this way. It's anybody's game. Anybody's going to win. Let's see who comes out. Next Wednesday, we're going to announce, see who came out this week in the winter. This week in Spotty Bowl. So guess what, guys? I'm going to get out there this weekend. I'm going to snack some grass. I'm going to catch some bass, have some fun at Spotty Bowl. Let's see you later.
Woo, dang. Bringing back the pre-Spotty Bowl chug. Right. If you're not signed up for Spotty Bowl yet, want to participate, go to spottybowl.com, ! Spotty Bowl in the chat will take you to the exact page where you can choose to participate in the LAOC region or the San Diego region. San Diego is happening this weekend. Yeah, there's different levels to join in on, and you're just in time to be in the running for the full for one of the belts, one of the championship belts. We do one mulligan, which would have been the previous round one. So you're actually able to start and have a full set of scores and be able to compete in this season of Spotty Bowl 2023. The shirts are now out. Shop.romancastro.com to get your Spotty Bowl to the 2023 shirt. What else? What else do we have? Yes, Bart Hall. We're doing Bart Hall as a group. If you want to join us, go check out on Discord and go to the MMFC outings section to let us know that you want to come with us, and we will meet up, carpool, save a little bit on parking, and be able to mob the event as a group, which would be pretty fun. We get to go swing by all the sponsors, say hello, and recruit more people into the club. We'll be the recruiting committee. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll be back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do me a favor, if you enjoy the content, enjoy the show, hit that subscribe button, and next week, bring a friend so they can check out the scores for the Spotty Bowl 2023 round 2. All right, guys, have a good night, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. May the bite be with you. Woo for Cal. Nice. Okay.